everybody, it's 1312 Man. You know what today is? Yep, today is the 21st day in the 31 days of Halloween. 10 days left. How depressing. Man, this month just clips right by. Don't know what to say about that. But, so let's get into it. When I first started doing the 31 days of Halloween this year, on the 7th day, I did Black Sunday, which was directed by Mario Bava. Starring Barbara Steele, you know. Great movie. It's a great Italian film. If you haven't seen it, it's a must-see. So, a couple weeks later, and I'm now going to do A Blade in the Dark. This is directed by Lamberto Bava, Mario's son. This was Lamberto Bava's second movie directing. Before that, he'd been an assistant director with some of his father's stuff, and he'd help out Dario Argento on some stuff, but this was really his second movie ever fully directing. His first movie, Macabre, he tried to make a more subtle horror film, you know, not have it to be too violent, and as critically acclaimed as it was by the critics, it wasn't accepted very well by the people that went out to see it in the theater. They wanted more violence, you know, which is, you know, it was 1980, you know, slashers were starting to ramp up, you know, blood was pouring down the screens. So he had to wait 3 years before he had another chance to direct a movie, and it turns out that A Blade in the Dark, he listened to the people, what they said back in 1980 with Macabre, said, okay, fine, I'm going to ramp up the violence in A Blade in the Dark. Now, A Blade in the Dark, as good as this movie is, and this movie is a good movie, I like it, the pacing is a little off with this one. He gets the violence right, but it kind of drags in certain parts. You know, I don't want to say too much about it, but so how do you tell the story to this? A man who's scoring a horror film rented a Italian villa to do his work in. It's big, man. This place is huge. And ever since he's gotten there, things have been happening that it just seem a little off. You know, is it because of the previous tenant? You know, from what I understand, from what they tell you, the guy that rents the villa only rents it to short-time renters. Not someone that's going to be there for years on end. It's just like, oh, you're going to rent it for like 90 days or, you know, 6 months maybe. Okay. I'm guessing that's the timeline, but yeah, so ever since he gets there, you know, everything's a little bit off. Things are happening. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I want you to see the rest. There's no one in this that I recognize, really. I mean, it's pretty much when Lamberto Bava made this movie, it was nothing but unknown names. You know, he wanted to keep the cost down. He wanted to show people what he could do. And like I said, the pacing on this movie is just a little slow. I like the movie. I like the sound. I like the score of this movie, the look of this movie. And that's why it's in my collection, because I do like this movie. It's an hour and a half, and it doesn't clip by, but it works, you know. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to give too much away. It's, like I said, it's Lamberto Bava's second movie. After this, he did Demons, which is well loved by everybody. It has the perfect pacing. It has the, you know, and then Demons 2. And he became a director unto himself. Is he as good as his father? I don't know. I mean, Mario Bava, I can't say everything Mario Bava did was great, but he had a love for it. It seems like Lamberto Bava is as a director, but he doesn't really love the horror side. You know, he does make more fantasy films than anything. You know, and honestly, it's like of the two of them, I think Mario had more heart when it came to making movies. And Mario was actually at the time it was a second generation director, because Mario's father was also a director that started out in the 1920s. So that makes Lamberto Bava a third generation movie director. How crazy is that? You don't hear that a lot, you know, especially here in America. I mean, it seems like we get, you know, directors, whether it's someone big like Spielberg, you know, and then you don't really hear that, oh, hey, guess what? His daughter is going to become a director, and then his daughter's kid's going to... You don't really hear that. You know, you hear, oh, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to live off my family's name, you know. And over in Italy, it's a little bit different. They're like, hey, you're a Bava. Use it. So, yeah, that's my day 21 of the 31 days of Halloween. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I always want to know what you have to say. When you do subscribe, hit the bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I put something new up. As always, I am the 13th Wolfman, and I'm on the prowl.